I want to start off talking about the genocide in Gaza. Of course, Kamala Harris recently got some, I would say, undeserved credit for appearing to call for a ceasefire. She made this announcement at the Edmund Pettus Bridge.
And given the immense scale of suffering in Gaza, there must be an immediate ceasefire. For at least the next 6 weeks, which is what is currently on the table. This will get the hostages out and get a significant amount of aid in. This would allow us to build something more enduring, to ensure Israel is secure, and to respect the right of the Palestinian people to dignity, freedom, and self-determination.
So it sounds good, but I wanted to know your thoughts on this and the fact that she is announcing really a pause.
Right. Well, the first thing that hit me, my dear sister, was that the Biden administration does not have an ounce of morality. It does not have a dose of integrity. That we've got nearly 30,000 precious folk killed, nearly 14,000 precious Palestinian babies murdered. And now they want to come out and talk about the scope of the devastation. You see, this is typical garden variety political lingo, given the pressures that they're beginning to feel, no ethical motivations whatsoever. They continue to enable a genocide. And going to drop food in, enable a genocide, and stand there on ground consecrated by Black freedom fighters who were crushed by cowardly white supremacists. That's where she makes that statement. They sacrificing everything. She and Biden, and not just her and Biden, but it's Austin. We can go right down the list. Kirby, it's Sullivan, it's Greenfield. All of these folk have been enabling one of the most barbaric genocides that we know, and now they want to act like they received some moral prize for calling for a ceasefire. Please, it's pathetic. It really is. It's pathetic. And we have to just keep it in the right context and understanding the level of mendacity, the level of manipulation of words, while precious human beings are being crushed this very moment, genocide in real time. Please, Sister Harris, get off of your soapbox where you're acting like you Fannie Lou Hamer, you nothing but an agent of the American empire. Please. That was my response to it. I was very upset about it. I remain upset about it,
And there's an article, actually, a Politico. The headline is Harris's ceasefire remarks were aimed at Hamas. And it says Vice President Kamala Harris's call for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza this weekend has been widely touted as her getting tougher on Israel, especially in clips on cable news and social media. But it's clear from either watching or reading her full comments that Hamas was the main target of her Sunday remarks in Alabama. And what she said was the threat Hamas poses to the people of Israel must be eliminated. Given the immense scale of suffering, there must be an immediate ceasefire. And then, of course, she cynically, I would say, paused so people could clip it there, and goes on for at least the next 6 weeks, which is what is currently on the table. Hamas claims it wants a ceasefire. Well, there is a deal on the table. And as we've said, Hamas needs to agree to that deal. And then John Kirby, who you just referred to, National Security Council spokesperson, told reporters today that there's no daylight between Harris and President Joe Biden's position that there should be a 6-week ceasefire. And he said Israel has put forward a forward-leaning offer. Yes, she was definitely communicating to Hamas that they need to accept this deal. And Harris told reporters that the president and I have been aligned and consistent from the very beginning. So it's not even what she's claiming to be calling for.
No, it's true. But what the problem is, again, though, you got all of these war criminals trying to act as if they've got some kind of moral sensibility. They know they've been enabling this genocide. They know they've been enabling this ethnic cleansing. They know they are responsible. They have blood on their hands when it comes to the death of thousands and thousands of innocent Palestinians, especially Palestinian children. So it shifts to a strategic and tactical level. It's not at the moral level. It's not at the spiritual level. That's what's upsetting about Selma. See, Selma was not strategic and tactical and some kind of check on what my deepest convictions are after I check what the polls are. That's Biden. That's Harris. That's what's going on in Washington. No, Selma was about Black people who hated, terrorized, traumatized, straighten their backs up, willing to fight. Some of them almost killed, like Brother John Lewis. Now, John Lewis later on is going to make his move toward neoliberalism. We won't get into that, but he was taking his stand. So you see again how the Biden administration just tries to hijack Black folk. Same is true with Martin Luther King Jr.'s founding of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, to redeem the soul of the nation. What does Biden do? That's my slogan, to redeem the soul of a nation. Martin Luther King Jr., James Lawson, Diane Nash versus Biden and Harris. Oh my God, that's like Aretha Franklin versus some junior high singer in a choir or something, you see. But they try to pose and posture as if they can get away with their pathetic formulations. And no, the veil has been ripped off of not just the Biden administration, but the American empire. I mean, the American empire is in deep decay. Most empires begin to really dissolve when they have moments of such violence that the bare reality, the raw power that they have is exposed to the world, exposed to their own citizens. I think one of the audiences of Sister Harris was really Michigan, 100 and some thousand folk in Michigan, not all, precious Arabs and Muslims. You had a number of white students, Black students, brown students. You had slices of the working class, significant numbers of women of different colors. This electoral strategy, back to the strategic again, ain't got nothing to do with the precious humanity of Palestinians. It was just a few weeks ago, Sister Harris was saying, no conditions whatsoever. We support whatever Israel does. No conditions whatsoever. She was speaking her heart there. Right. That's what she was honest. Very much so. Because that's where she is. That's where Biden is. That's where Austin is. Austin, and it's interesting where, he's got a little bit of ambivalence every once in a while, but in the end, boom, he comes down right with the empire and knows he's wrong, knows that history is going to reveal them as the enabling of not just war crimes, not just crimes against humanity, but crimes of genocide. Now, that is more the perspective of Selma, Alabama. You see, the folk who marched in Selma in 65, and I know your beloved mother down there in SNCC with her courageous visionary self and artistic sensibility. You see, everybody knew, when Reverend Heschel went down there, what was he told? You gonna die, man. Sylvia, his blessed wife, she was told, your husband's gonna die. Susanna, your father's gonna die. And what did Heschel do? I'm going down anyway. You see, this is qualitatively different than anything you could get out of the Biden administration in regard to not just Gaza, but the same thing is true with Wall Street, same thing is true with mass incarceration, same thing is true with poverty, same thing is true with ecological crisis. You can see this kind of posing and posturing across the board, and we have to call it for what it is.